If you and the tank shots are amazing, and Deer is pushed back. I feel like this decision would have been better if his mothership core didn't die. Oh, the Marauder gets a disruptor. I can't believe that happened, but if you have your mothership core alive and you have overcharges, the drop defense becomes a lot easier. But in this case, he didn't find much damage, lost expensive units. And look at the worker count, 69 Kappa to 58 here. So that's Terran plus Mule's economy. He's much further ahead. You can see it on the income right below his mineral count.
Yeah, and it looks like Deer wants to possibly put on some more pressure while he gets a 4th base up. I mean, again, even though I feel like the attack overall went better for Bunny, Deer just has so much room on the map. It's going to be a while before another attack comes across. Looks like Bunny wants to continue putting pressure at least on this watchtower so that he can open up more, avenues to go for his own drops here.
Very risky to walk into a line of sight blocker when you don't know what's on the other side. Yeah, we're going to see Bunny take a poor trade as a result. He doesn't have the support of his units here. Because he's going so tank Liberator heavy, it's almost like a polymerization of mech with bio, and his bio alone versus the disruptor shots is pretty weak. He needs the tanks and Liberators to be with his army.
Yeah, this is an interesting style to use on this map. I wonder if we were going to see the same style in game number 1. It ended too quickly to find out, but generally nowadays you just see, Marine, Medevac, Marauder, some Widow Mines perhaps mixed in, and then you get some Liberators a little bit later on. Now, you don't generally see this many tanks in this matchup, but Bunny going to heavily include them. Already 4 tanks.
Yeah, taking a page out of TY's book with this in a little bit. Liberation zones active here. Good splits against the disruptors. Tank target here will kill one disruptor as well. And this base is in trouble. He needs to get some more units over here. He's relying purely on disruptors right now. And he's building up a healthy count despite losing a few. But siege tanks kind of outrange them. So it's tough to actually engage into this with disruptor shots.
Yeah, now look at the position on the Liberators. How are you going to engage into that? I think he may just have to give up this 4th base, but kind of a rough spot because Bunny just got his own 4th base. Looks like Deer wants to come around from the backside.
Yeah, looks like Bunny wants to try to engage. Just using the medevac provision. A big blink forward here. The siege tanks, most of them out of range. Liberation zones being replaced here. It's going to be a hard commitment for Deer.
Oh, look at this. Warp Prism drop in the back door does not do much damage at all here, and Deer kind of stuck in the middle of the map. He wants to engage into this army, and he does have a lot of Blink Stalkers, but it's kind of hard to come from this angle with all the Liberators set up.
I think the way to beat this army is to avoid it. Don't hard engage into it like this. Go kill a base with these. Kill the bio units, kill reinforcements. Looks like he wants to commit. And just a lift here will save those siege tanks to blink forward. They're going to kill some Liberators, and that's going to be potentially an amazing disruptor shot. Another lift to dodge. And Stalker's on the chase. He may want to just drop and kill those 3.
Yeah, kind of a misblink there. If he had gotten underneath all of those medevacs, that may have just even been game. I mean, he is going to try to blink and chase after this. There's a Liberator trying to do damage at the natural.
Oh, the snipe! Does he get a second one? No!
Ooh, really close there.
And Deer is evening up the supply here. He's also making a bit of a switch into, I think, a more gateway centralized comp. He only has 1 with upgrades. He has that Twilight Council. He got the Resonating Glaives, but he hasn't started 2-2. He's a bit poor when it comes to gas, especially because he doesn't even have his gases up on that 4th base that he's remaking.
Yeah. This is kind of a funny style that Deer is playing today. I guess it's a response to what Bunny is doing, but this looks a lot like actually Puck from NA. That we saw a lot at kind of each. Oh no, the Disruptor's getting in the front, taking huge damage from the tanks.
Yeah, good reaction here by Bunny.
This is not like the Korean PvT style at all.
No. Oh, that Disruptor shot could be beautiful. The next 2 are decent, but still he's having so much trouble engaging with Blink Stalkers and Disruptors. Looks like he's going to run into the target.
The splits are unbelievable. Bunny is so known for these splits, and maybe this is why we do not see this composition over in Korea, because the Terrans just dodge all of those Novas, man.
Well, with the Fusion Core done, we can see Liberator range coming in for Bunny now as well. He has 2-2 completed, and he's just going to commit to this fight. Blink Stalkers versus Bio and Medevacs, never going to be a good fight to take as a Protoss. You just simply don't have the attack speed to finish these units off. You don't have that damage output. Going to grab a Liberator on the side. One small victory here for Deer, but he's down 50 supplies and loses 4th base again. And I think that is just going to be all she wrote here. He has no transition point at this point. Look at the production tab.
Yeah, another Disruptor goes down essentially for free. Maybe lost a couple on Marauders, but now down a base and a bigger army here for Bunny. He wants to end this game now.
A whole set of upgrades ahead. These probes here just sitting idly waiting to die. They're never going to have another base to mine from. This game is over. GG.
Bunny coming back in the series with a unique style on that very big map. We are going to be going to Ro16 for game number 3. You don't see this too often, you know, the player who is definitely the underdog going down 0-1 that quickly, but then coming back in game number 2.
Yeah, coming back fighting. I think it comes back to that original drop we had from Deer. He committed a lot of resources to a drop that found no damage because it was scouted. He needs to make sure he keeps SCVs out of his base. The SCV scout being in his base in game 1 won him the game. But in game 2, I think it really lost it for him. He also lost his mothership core twice. Lost it once to the Widowmine drop, which also got 5 probe kills on top of that. He lost his observer. He lost a lot of mining time in the early game. Then later on lost his mothership core again. Didn't defend the attack because he didn't have that. Decided to kind of all in into a siege tank line. There were like a lot of things that went wrong there for Deer. Bunny just playing solid.
So Bunny, I mean, he's got a shot here. It's essentially a best of 1 now, tying it up 1-1. We are going to Ro16, even though the picture there is Laralac Crest, of course. We are going to get that on screen for you in just a second as we jump into this game. And Deer even looking a little bit flustered there up in his chair, his throne up there on stage.
Yeah. This is going to be the one that decides who's going to the winner's match. Will it be Deer, the favorite, or Bunny, the underdog?
Well, let's jump into that game number 3 right now. GSL Ro16.
2, 1.
Up here in the top left, our Protoss player. He is...
Samsung Galaxy. Deer.
He's pointing at you, fan number 623 in the Twitch chat.
That guy in the chat is pointing at you. Down here in the bottom right, the Terran player coming back in that last one.
City enters Bunny.
That's when Bunny's looking at the carnage he wrecked in that last game.
Looking off into the sunset as he gets first place in the group. Wolf.
Yeah.
We'll see if that does become a reality.
The future that he sees. So many fans here from all over the world tonight to watch the GSL. All right. So Ro16, a map I think you're probably more familiar with than I am. It's a
Yeah, we don't get to cast this all too often.
It's a league-specific map, and we talk about these maps don't get played very often because players are trying to learn new Pro League maps. They're playing on the ladder maps. And like GSL's like, we made these other 2 maps that's only in GSL, so it's a lot of maps to kind of remember and practice on. And because most players veto them, you just don't see them too often, so why would you spend a ton of time practicing them anyways? Just kind of how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that makes it, well, this map is pretty unique. It has a lot of choke points, a lot of hills, a lot of corridors. Generally pretty good for Zerg, I feel. You know, you can get lurkers into position against Protoss pretty easily. Bunny's style on that last one, I feel like, would work great on this map. You know, the tanks, Liberators just controlling space with the siege units.
Yeah, nearly a kill on that SCV. Escapes with his 5 hit points. Just wanted to commentate that for you guys. I want to give you guys some play-by-play.
That's a big deal, you know, forcing an extra SCV off the line this early on in the game. Small advantage to Deer.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see another factory opening here from Bunny. Oh my god, could the probe come back and force yet another SCV? Stay tuned for the mid-game. No, he's leaving. Oh my god, if this SCV sneaks in one more time, I'm going to lose it.
Bunny is so consistent with this.
Let's see if Deer notices. I mean, obviously he has vision now, but will he deal with this?
Just chilling in the shadows.
Here it comes, going to the main. Those are rocks, yeah.
Trying to block it.
Down it goes.
Yeah, doesn't get a scout. So this time Deer finally denies the scout. And he's going to change up the build a bit. Instead of going only for robotics this time, he's going to add a Twilight Council.
I think he's going to get an observer out here for safety. And then he's going to go into DTs. I think it would be a really good opening here. It's totally different from anything he's shown already in the series. He knows this time he killed the SCV. Let's see, there's the Observer coming out. And, you know, just a solid setup here at his ramp. No way anything's going to come in there and scout. Look at that. He confirms it with the Stalkers. Starting to look more like DTs to me. And we'll see what he commits to, though. 2 Minor Gateways coming up first.
DTs would be interesting. I don't think they're a bad idea, especially because this is a 2-player map. Getting that third base, putting on the pressure with the DTs is not bad, but Blink is also good.
Yeah,
I feel like Blink is like the safe overall. You know, I just want to go into a longer game, defend against the drops, make sure I can ward off the medevacs, and then eventually take my third base.
Yeah, you can harass with it. There's just a lot more utility with Blink. It's going to be good no matter what, whereas DTs, you know, especially when you've been consistently scouted by Bunny in the best of 3, maybe not as safe of a choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like hit or miss, and you're like, well, if he scouts my DTs, he totally wards them off, then I go down to the losers match when I was favored against this guy. Nuh-uh, I just want to play it safe, go Blink, and play a macro game against this guy.
This SCV will be killed here. It looked like Deer was considering a very fast third with those Blink Stalkers, and maybe more than considering as that probe does move back into position. This Widowmine drop is coming around. He has an Observer here and the Mothership Core. It's going to be tough for this one to find the damage that Bunny had last game.
Yeah, Stalker's all in the main, so he's prepared for that drop. But will he be prepared for the natural? He's only got 1 Stalker over here. Here everything comes. It looks like Bunny is just going to play it safe and try to drop into the main. But here we go, Mothership Core in position. Overcharges come down. And this is looking a lot better of a hold for Deer.
Yeah, he's going to even commit that second overcharge. Oh! That was scary.
Oh, that was pretty close.
But the Mothership Core will save the day. The medevac escapes. Widowmine carcass there. Blink is done now, as that third base is much faster here for Deer than it is for Bunny. I think Bunny definitely somewhat behind when it comes to eco, but he knows where he's at in this game. He knows that fast third nexus is up. He already scouted the probe was over there earlier, and he also got a pretty big scout on the main base and the natural with that drop.
And look at this. We got an extra robotics facility and a robotics bay coming down, so I suppose it could be Disruptors again, but will it be Colossus on a map this big? I mean, there's a lot of cliffs. You can kind of micro them back, but can you actually afford double Colossi? You're definitely going to have to cut back on the units here. I'm not sure, Wolf.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Let's kind of wait and see what he's got planned here. We do see the glaive upgrade coming out for the Adepts as well, and he's looking for some harass with these Stalkers, looking for a drop coming across the map, looking for some damage. He's not going to find it. This Watchtower will be controlled by Bunny, and a 3 Adept drop coming around the bottom right. There's not a ton in the main base, but he does have some units here in the natural, and rallying units may be able to help out. That turret also going to make it a little bit tougher to micro. Let's see how much he commits to, because this supply depot is scouting him, and he knows it.
Looks like he is going to commit. Nope, just picks up Bunny in time. And it is double Disruptor production.
Yeah, not going Colossi, I guess. I mean, it was almost pure Marine comp he was up against before this, but still, I think it's just Colossi are just not as valuable right now in this matchup. We don't see them used in competitive play almost at all anymore. They still have a place. We just don't know what that place is. I mean, they come in and out every now and then. But it's safe to say they're out of the meta.
Yeah, we see them from time to time, but especially on only 3 base, double Colossi would be a little bit too much. Especially, you know, getting the Adept upgrade, he definitely wants to get a large number of those out on the map as well. But double Disruptor, he's going to try for this similar style of play, just more macro-oriented. He wants to get all the upgrades 2 at a time, and just add in some more supporting units as well.
Third base landing here for Bunny. So he's finally going to have that equal economy. You look at the worker count, Deer been spending a ton of chronos on probes at 67 currently, so he has a massive economy. This is a huge drop commitment. And if Deer is out of position, this could do incredible damage. Could definitely kill a Forge or 2 here. Looks like that's right where it's headed. currently.
It looks like Deer has somehow spotted this. He's come over here and he spotted it, but he needs to get into the main. Everything's out of position now.
This is going to do a ton of damage. This army's way out of position. He chased. He gets nothing with this drop as well. Look at the Widowmine setups here.
Getting some decent hits, but more importantly, they're keeping everything out of the main. How is Deer going to engage into this? He's just going to blink up and try to get those disruptor shots, but so many of those expensive disruptors going down.
This is almost game-ending damage, how much he's getting with this. He's going to kill almost every single disruptor. Will lift up and get away. Didn't get the forges, but traded so insanely well.
Not even a single medevac goes down. What an unbelievable trade there from Bunny. He's known for his dropping, his multitasking. He defends the drop in his own main too for 0 damage for Deer.
And it looks like off camera, he did get 1 forge. Didn't get the second one, but that's pretty significant damage in itself. Really going to limit Deer's upgrades. Just like last game, we saw at the very end, 1-1 for Deer versus 2-2 for Bunny. This drop, he's been pretty lazy with it. He's not finding anything here. We'll clean up that Widowmine. But the second drop is coming, and this means Deer can never really leave his base. He's stuck inside on the defense.
Yeah. A map like this, even if you do get a couple of observers up there towards the top, it's still hard to spot this. He does spot it this time, but that's still a lot of units coming into his main.
Yeah, he will need to have his units there. He can't let this unload. Picks off a medevac. Nice grab there. And he's just going still continual pure disruptor production. He has a 5th base. Oh, whoa. Nice intercept here. Going to pick off 2 more medevacs.
Yep, Bunny not preparing for that. And just going to have to back off here. So somehow Deer is staying alive in this game, and he is getting his 4th base up now. This is a very big map, so.
Yeah, that 4th base is hidden so far from Bunny. He sent a Marine over to see if he could get any more information about the 3rd, see if that was a good drop target. This SCV is not going to find anything either. Looks like Bunny is starting to sniff out this base here, as bunnies are known to do, as he moves across the map. He's going to hit that watchtower, which will give him just the edge of vision here on those probes that transferred over, so he knows that base is up. He wants to hit it.
Oh, and he wants to engage into this. Nice spreads here. Nice splits against the disruptors, but still very hard. Deer, nice job, just doing 3 at a time to zone out his opponent at all times.
Yeah. Never overkilling them. This mineral line needs to be evacuated. Looks like Deer wants to engage during this moment while the Liberators are out of position, but quick reaction by Bunny. He knew this was possible. Sets it up, and he will get 2 Liberators here, but at a big cost, losing a lot of Stalkers.
Yeah, very hard spot for Deer to engage here. He wants to try to possibly bink up here. A lot of these Liberators are alone, and here we go. Gonna try to focus them all down, and that he does.
Yep, but there's still a lot of bio here with better upgrades, and he's just gonna fight this right underneath the medevacs. Good blink micro from Deer, but it's still a tough fight versus pure Marauder. A few Marines to support. Ends up being a win for Bunny in the fight, but or rather a win for Deer in the fight, but Bunny definitely got a good trade out of it.
Well, look at this. Now all these bio units are all alone, and they're definitely going to go down. The blinks are going to follow up, and now this drop may finally get some damage here.
Yeah, he's got very few army units left at home. He lost a lot with that. These rallied units will defend this, actually having to go down now to the natural, but Deer is not giving Bunny time. He's moving across the map with his own counterattack force, looking like he wants to hit the natural and hit it hard.
Yeah, really nice holds here from Deer and nice follow-up. He wants to attack here, as you were saying. And even one Adept still lives, so Bunny's still going to have to pay attention to this and defend against that one Adept. And uh-oh, these Liberators all alone once again.
There's so many Disruptors. There's more Disruptors than there are Marauders on the map. Look at this. He's going to kill several of them here because there's not that many Stalkers to support them.
Yeah, and Deer may have overcommitted just a bit. Pretty much only Disruptors now on the map.
He may lose a lot more of these. The Marauders are on the chase. Bunny's not going to commit. He doesn't know if there's a pylon or a warp prism over there. Could have been 8 more Stalkers warping in to catch those Marauders. So he just wards them off. He stays alive, and this game is still pretty close, but I got to give Deer the edge with that fight that he took earlier at the 4th base.
Yeah, for sure. Bunny now going to try to go for a big drop towards the bottom side. He wants to shut down that 4th base. He knows he has his own 4th base, and if he can do a bit of damage there, he can stick in this game. But I think Deer may have sniffed something out. He sees maybe there's not enough army at the front of the natural for Bunny. And he's back here. Well, he was back there at the watchtower to defend, but now he's moving out.
Bunny looks like he might want to hit that fourth base. It is low from earlier. It took a lot of just direct damage.
And there's nothing here. There's one pylon. There's not even the mothership core there.
All right, Stim forward here. He's going to go for the Nexus itself, kiting it towards those probes. They do evacuate. He gets 4. Will get the Nexus for free. And Deer doesn't commit to the attack. He's actually walking home, which means he can get even more done and then escape.
Yeah, meanwhile, back at home, he's got a nice economy with 3 Liberators and a bunch of bio units being pumped out at a time. Bunny, I mean, he's come back in this game. He shuts down the fourth base. Deer doesn't have much mining left over.
Yeah. This is really going to hurt. He has to commit here to this attack. Going to take out this Widow Mine first before he commits. Bunny needs to get his army over here and set it up. This is a ton of Blink Stalkers.
A ton here. How is he going to engage? It doesn't look like he wants to go to the fourth base. He just wants to come in here, shut down the third. There's still a lot of mining left over, but doesn't have much defense back at home.
Looks like what Bunny wants to do is just let these bases go, you know, and do his own damage across the map while he builds up a strong force. This planetary will go down despite the repairs. He's killing so many probes on the other side of the map as well. But the question is, who got the better end of this? And I think army-wise, the answer is Deer. Let's see if he can engage this.
Needs to hit those disruptor shots. That's the risk you take with this composition. A big blink in. He's going to get right underneath those Liberators.
Oh, and a big move command there from Bunny to try to get his units back together here. He still has a large bio force, and a lot of these disruptors are being targeted down.
Really nice disruptor hits, though, and a large number of these Stalkers are still left over. More being warped in, and I think Deer may have done it.
It looks like it. He blinks forward on top of all this bio, and that will be game. He defends at home, and he will end this one here. Nothing on the ground to defend, and that is going to be it for game number 3. Deer is going to the winner's match.
It was an extended series, but Deer does it. A very, very close one. Deer not looking as dominant as usual, but Bunny putting on a good show himself.
Yeah. Just a few more Stalkers warping in to seal the deal. Blinking onto this last bit of bio, targeting down that Marauder. Bunny on the run. The only place he's going to have to hide is the loser's match.
GG. Deer takes the win there in that best of 3. Was a rough one. You can tell he's feeling the heat.
Yeah, not an easy series there. Definitely that third game could have gone either way. But he does end up taking it at the very end of all things. And Bunny will have another chance in that loser's match. He may end up having to play the same matchup depending on who advances. If TY does get upset, then you know, he'll have to play a TBT, but that won't be decided until our next best of 3.
Yeah, a very close group all in all. I feel like there are definitely 2 favorites, but Bunny and Myungshik, if Myungshik shows up as well, this could be a pretty close one. So we'll have to wait and see, guys. We're going to go to a quick break before we get to that second match. Stay tuned.
Times that I've seen you lose your way, you're not in control, and you won't be told. All I can do to keep you safe is hold you close till you can breathe on your own, till you can breathe on your own. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's make it hot.
에너지 음료 핫식스는 GSL과 함께합니다.
언제나 있는 그대로의 맑고 깨끗함을 지켜가라고. 겨울을 잊은 강물이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성 사이다.
BT의 몸을 맡겨라.
새로운 영웅은 언제나 환영이야.
오버워치 5월 24일 출시. 예약 구매로 누구보다 빠르게 친구와 오픈 베타에 접속하세요.
회의가 좀 늦게 끝나서.
아 그래요? 괜찮아요. 그냥 게임 몇 판 하면서 기다리고 있을게요.
아씨 뭐 하는 거야 아무도. 아 오라고 좀. 뭐 철 만들었나 부서지지도 않네. 오.
차 뽑고 정확한 견적 뽑고 금융 혜택도 뽑고 자판기처럼 쉽게 차를 뽑다. 다나와 자동차.
진짜 맞추면 되는구나. 3명 꺼져 안 돼요. 됐어. 댄스 나갔어. 나가 오지마 끝났어. 몰라. 밖에서 춤이나 춰야겠다.
피자통, 떡볶이통, 짬뽕통, 보쌈통. 대한민국 모든 배달음식 통을 응원합니다. 배달은 우리가 통이다.
지금 바로 6.25
웬열? 와, 어떻게 저렇게 부드럽게 움직이냐? 플렉스볼은 굴곡진 턱선에도 막힘이 없거든. 진짜 깔끔하다. 대세야 역시.
2,500만 명의 선택 플렉스볼 아직도 안 써보셨나요? 질렛.
거기 당신 내 이야기 들어볼래? 아주 오래된 얘기를 해줄게. 깊이 잠들었던 아기 비명을 지르며 저 어둠 속에서 자라나고 있지. 고대 신의 속삭임이.
소개팅이 1년 만인데 혹시 소개팅 자주 하세요? 저는 중국어 조금 할 줄 아는데 혹시 중국어 배워보실 생각 있으세요? 이런 여자 어때요? 네, 좋아요. 한 6시 정도 만날까요?
에너지 음료 핫식스는 GSL과 함께합니다.
삼성 시스템 Hot 6 GSL Season 1 Codes. Hot 6 GSL Season 1 Codes.
Everywhere I go, I get a standing ovation.
Welcome back, boys and girls, to the GSL Code S. We just had Deer taking out Bunny 2-1. We are about to go into our second match, Myungshik versus TY. What are you thinking, Wolf?
Well, I'm feeling like TY should be able to take this one, but they met in the preseason finals. This was a long time ago. Back then, everyone was saying TY should take it. He was one of the first Terrans to really innovate the matchup in Legacy of the Void since the beta. And he was the dominant force, but Myungshik beat him in that preseason. That gives him a little bit of extra confidence here. Myungshik did defeat Bunny, as it is, and one of his most recent PBTs in Group C of the round of 32. And, I mean, I think this could go either way, but I just want to give the edge to TY.
Yeah, I mean, TY is up there probably top 2, maybe even top 3 for Terrans right now in the world. I'd say him and, like, Innovation are up there. Maru's looking good again. But TY, you know, he's fantastic in TVT. I think he said in the interview, correct me if I'm wrong, that he was having trouble versus Protoss lately when he was practicing with his teammates.
I just can't remember. I can't confirm or deny this, but
he was also talking in the chat here about how it feels like he's hit a wall almost, and you know, talking with Shine the Observer. And I mean, when you're practicing with guys like Stats and Zest in your team house, I don't know if you can base how you're doing in a matchup against two of the best Protosses right now, but I mean, it's his own words. Maybe he's not as confident as he wants to be right now.
He also had a super easy run through the round of 32 group, as you guys saw there earlier. So this guy is on fire right now, maybe overshadowed by some of his teammates in Pro League. Here are our maps: Dust Towers, Lerolite Crest, and Orbital Shipyard. I hope we go to set 3 because that map makes for some really fun games.
I love Orbital Shipyard, actually. For PvT specifically, I feel like it's very balanced for the two. Terrans seem to be doing pretty well so far, but as you said, it makes fun, exciting games, lots of aggression, especially once those fort bases get up. It's really, really cool. But we got to go through game number 1 here. It's going to be Dust Towers, a very gigantic 2-player map, very defensive, and one that I feel may actually favor Myungshik here.
That it could. It looks like it is up and loaded, guys. We're going to go into game number 1, Myungshik versus TY here in Group D.
2, 1.
And up in the top right, the blue Protoss. He is
SK Telecom T1 Myungshik.
That's Myungshik's senior yearbook picture.
He's trying to punch through the Code S symbol, but he can't quite do it. He's got to win first. Maybe then he can.
His opponent down here in the bottom right used to be called Baby.
KT Rolster TY.
That's TY after a rough night.
That looks like TY, you know, the subreddit Blunder Years, man.
I'm not
just
familiar
because
with this.
he's got that makeup on and, you know, the lighting, the Photoshop, it's like he's kind of going through that goth phase, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I
like
see what you mean, Blunder Years now.
TY.
I mean, yeah.
He's grown up since then.
He's like, they used to call me Baby, but now Justin Bieber's song is out, and I can't do it. PL versus Voltra. Probably supposed to be Ultra, but I didn't read the
I think it's plus Ultra. Yeah, the English definitely caught my eye first. He's going back to those Latin roots, I guess.
Well, I don't think we're going to be seeing any Ultralists today, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Kind of an interesting sign. We have had a couple of those today, guys. Stick with us as we try to translate those or decipher them.
Yeah.
Those codes.
That's part of our job here as the resident Korean-speaking white people. We just try to bring that Korean over to you guys, explain it. We're going to have our proxy here, and it wouldn't be Myungshik if in a best of 3 we didn't see one sort of shenanigan at least.
And you know what? I was saying that it favored him a bit because it was a very big map. He wouldn't have to deal with as much aggression from TY. He would have space to kind of go into a macro game, build up those air units that he likes to use. But he's also known for this, being aggressive himself. He's done it before. I think he's actually... Was he the one that went for that Immortal? It was like in the middle of Heart of the Swarm. We went for that Immortal bust.
Yeah,
I think
know
it was
exactly
on,
what you're talking about.
What was the map? It was the one with the back door.
Yeah.
It was really big, the 4-player map. He tried to Immortal bust TY, actually.
Yeah. I remember this
think
game
he might do it
specifically.
again. Like, he's got the Robo coming.
The Robo's up here proxied at the front.
He's like, let's go back to 2014 TY.
TY's middle name, for those of you guys who don't know, is actually Safety. And as you guys can see, he's sent the Reaper all over the map. He commits to a scout here. He knows something's up.
This is suspicious, man. This is getting pretty sus. Whoa, the block!
Oh, man.
That was pretty nice, but I mean, the Reaper already got the scouts. I mean, he didn't get a full scout of all the bases, but this is definitely going to tip him off.
Okay, here comes the Mothership Core as well. This bunker, he needs to finish it. Nice targets here on every building SCV. Looks like he will eventually finish with 3 SCVs. Mothership Core not going to probably commit to an overcharge here unless he wants to target SCVs.
He may. He's going to focus down that bunker.
It's going to take some damage for the follow-up push, potentially.
Yeah, and he's killed a bunch of SCVs here. Gets the bunker down to half. SCVs move back in and get a repair. But he's actually going for a Warp Prism here.
A Cyclone's coming out here for TY Safety TY here, as he knows that something funky's going on. This doesn't make sense what he saw in the main base. This is very aggressive by Myungshik. The Mothership Core will have to recall, and he'll probably commit an Immortal here, I would assume. Yeah, otherwise the proxy just wouldn't make sense. 2 additional gates coming up as well. He does have two fully saturated bases, no gas. That is natural.
Yeah, I wonder if he won't just add a couple more gates and maybe go for an Immortal all-in. I don't think that Immortal drops are that significant nowadays. I mean, this is the map that does have the back door. I suppose you could put on some pressure, but
it starts to look
here
like,
we go.
Yeah, it starts to look like he just wanted to initially add only a few because he didn't have all the money for all of them at once. And what if TY sneaks another Reaper in, a Scanser base or something? He wants to split those up. Notice he doesn't put them all in the same place. They're kind of scattered everywhere.
This definitely isn't the way that Myungshik's thinking of it, but I wonder if he was just watching those games between Deer and Bunny, and he's like, oh, that's a good build. I'm going to do that, except I'm going to proxy the Robo to make it even more tricky. The one that Deer did, of course, in game number 1, where he just made a Warp Prism. He didn't make, I think he made 1 Immortal, actually. But this is going to be a bit delayed. Like, he puts on a bit of pressure at first, and then he allows TY some time to breathe, and then he's like, no, it's not done, man. Here I come again.
Looks like he wants to commit the Warp Ends into the main base with this Immortal drop. He could target down the Stim as well. Stim is only just now starting. He has a Cyclone and a Siege Tank, but otherwise his army is quite puny. He has a Scouting Marine. Nope, he's actually not going to commit to the main. He's going to go for the front.
Interesting. I would have liked him to actually elevator into the main. There's really not much here, and there's a bunker at the front. It may not even matter. There's not that many units for TY. He's going for a 3rd command center.
Yeah, that bunker only has 1 Marine in it, and he is dead now. Oh, no wall. Here comes the Shade. He's going to commit. He wants to go on top of that Siege Tank, and he will. The Immortal's going down on top of him as well.
Immediately targeting it down, and another big Warping coming in. A big surround on the Adepts on the left side, but this is so many more Adepts than TY was expecting.
And these 2 Immortals just going to be lifted and dropped on top of the Siege Tank. Down it will go. 13 health left. He just needs to right-click it one more time. The Adept's doing massive amounts of damage, but TY will survive for now, it appears. Where's that next Warp? And there it is.
Another big Warp in, and the barrier just coming up here.
Oh, and the Micro!
Unbelievable. And it looks like he's going to defeat TY here. What a turn of events. Myungshik trying to create an upset tonight.
Yeah, well, the all-in is the way to do it, even against Mr. Safety here. TY didn't know what was coming. He couldn't defend it, and he didn't have any response in his main base. He had an SCV even patrolling and saw there was no 3rd Nexus, but still didn't make any bunkers. He wasn't sure what was going on. He didn't commit to that extra amount of safety. GG. Myungshik taking it.
Taking game number 1, Wolf.
He took it.
Took
Best
it
way
away
to
from
describe it.
TY.
Yeah, exactly. Grabbed it by the horns.
Yeah. Grabbed him by the ankles and shook him upside down. Took that win out of his pockets. And wow, man. That makes things a lot more interesting coming into the 2nd series. TY the big favorite, but Myungshik Trying to create some hassle.
Some hassle indeed. And we'll see as we go into game number 2 if TY can force that third longer game on Orbital Shipyard. Map number 2 is going to be Laralac Crest. This is Myungsik's map choice as well. So keep that in mind. He wanted to play this map. He already took an easy all-in win in that first game. So he's on his way. Just one more game to go into that PvP Winners Finals.
Yeah. And that's an interesting build choice on that first one. You know, it was very different the way it played out between Deer and Bunny and between Myungsik and TY because, you know, Deer did it specifically because his other build got scouted and he wanted to switch things up. But, I mean, in this one, it's like he almost expected TY to go for that greedy third command center just because of how big that map is.
Yeah, very much true. Map number 2, Laralac Crest is up and loaded, guys. Let's jump into it. Myungsik versus TY.
3, 2, 1.
Up in the top right, the blue Protoss winning that last one. He is.
SK Telecom T1 Myungsik.
Myungsik looking calm as ever.
And on the opposite side of the map, down here in red,
KT Rolster TY.
He just looks so unhappy in that photo. He's just got such a great career behind him already, though. He's never had a finals, okay. He nearly had a Star League finals last season, but didn't quite make it.
He's jealous of his teammate Stats, who finally gets that finals and a chance at becoming a champion for once.
Yeah, it would be his first title ever, because we all know the WECG qualifier doesn't count.
Oh boy.
Oh, TY is actually going to scout correctly here to the top right.
Look at the build from Myungsik. Adding the 2 gases early. It looks like he's fully mining from both.
Yes,
yep.
6 in total.
Here we go again. Pylon coming down in the middle. And TY's going to come in here. He gets the lucky scout, right? This is very, very good for TY on a 4-player map, getting the first scout. He knows exactly what's going on, so he should be able to prepare for this.
This is something that you do, like the proxy location in the center where there's a watchtower where you can see if you're about to get scouted. It's important. And on a 4-player map like this, you're kind of equidistant. No matter where they spawn, it's going to be a smart choice. He's going to actually scout incorrectly to the top left because he didn't see which direction the SCV came from. And it's going to be a Stargate this time.
That's okay because he knows because it was so quick, he can go up to the top left, and if he's not there, he knows it's bottom right.
Absolutely.
So he can just send the Oracle down that way.
Oh, safety is the name here. He's going to get a quick eBay. Like, what? Like, so quick. Before his CC's even halfway done.
That's what
We're
you
talking
gotta
like
do.
2-minute eBay. He's going to scout this as well. This is looking good for TY. Scouted it. Stop. I see your Stargate. Know what you're up to.
Yeah, and as we always say, it's only half the battle, but he is already on his way to preparing for this hardcore. I think he just has to make sure, okay, this is perfect. Get the bunker, make sure no pylons get down at the bottom of your ramp. There's already a probe waiting to do it, and then just get some turrets up, and you should be able to defend against this.
Nearly gets the Adept in. A nice bait there. This pylon placement is really smart, and he keeps the probe alive so he can replace this. Look, he's going to put a second one down. He's committing hard. Here comes the Mothership Core. First pylon is canceled. I suppose it's the second pylon, but that one is canceled. TY wants to commit to this first initial one, but he won't be able to get it. And this is just going to be some annoying harassment here. Even a turret being placed to stop this.
Here comes the Oracle. Turret does finish. The Oracle will go into the main, but there is a second turret already. This one is being focused down, so he could get that Oracle at the ramp.
Oh, and now he's coming in. Here come those Adepts. They shade in. The Mothership Core actually being hit by the turret currently, but how much damage can he get with just 2 Adepts here? That's the question.
Trying to focus down those units. Here comes the Oracle. Is there enough here? It doesn't look like
it's
it. He's
not.
going to focus all the Marines down.
Needs to be careful about that turret. The Mothership Core is still alive, by the way. Going to drop another overcharge. And this is all of the Marine production here for TY. This Adept surrounded right now. Will likely go down, but
Second
damaging.
Oracle coming in here. I guess that's the first one. Oh, no, that is the second one coming back. It's got that energy.
He needs to make another barracks or something, but he has no money right now. Okay, that Widowmine hit, very important. He has 2 CCs, so he has double mules. But if he loses this barracks, he's not going to have any units except Widow Mines. He's making an add-on for siege tanks right now.
Looks like he may want to get a Cyclone
yeah,
out
probably,
here.
I guess.
But again, I mean, there's already 3 Oracles in your main. You can't even really produce units. The 3 Oracles may even be able to focus down the Cyclone.
I think they can.
He's just waiting for it. He's like, yeah, okay, make it. Go ahead.
He's like, I dare you. eBay block at the top of the ramp, going to be obviously pretty hefty. Don't forget there's a Nexus coming up back at home. And looks like he's just going to deny another turret. Could have even, you know, killed potentially that tech lab, but he just wants to save energy so he can focus that Cyclone down when it pops
Here
out.
comes the Cyclone. Very
Widow
nice
Mine.
moves there. He's going to try to move in, but the Widow Mine, the Cyclone does go down, so he trades an Oracle for that Cyclone.
TY scouts the Nexus. He knows there is an expansion up, cancels his eBay, and even though he took a lot of damage, he's only 7 workers behind. He still has double mules. He has double SCV production. He can recover from this. I feel like one of the worst parts for him is that he just doesn't have an army to pressure with. His stim is nowhere near being started. He doesn't even have a second barracks yet. He's only starting that now.
Yeah, and it's a really scary place. You know, he did scout the Nexus, which was huge, but even if there is a Nexus, what is the next follow-up from the Protoss? You're sitting in your base as a turn, it's like, well, do I move out and risk losing the game if another all-in is coming up here, like 4 more gates? Looks like he is going to get down there. He does have the barracks and a decent amount of units, but he's going to have to set up a turret. There's 2 Oracles waiting nearby, and it's going to be a little bit here before he starts mining.
Yeah. Finally, the CC has landed solid on the ground. Another pylon planted here for Myungshik with 4 Oracles now. He can even use Revelation to tag these units. He's going to have all the information about how large the army is, whether or not a drop's ever going to be able to come out, if he can ever afford to do something like that.
It's going to be 6 gate plus 4 Oracle, 5 Oracle with another one on the way. And he is just going to follow up with another all-in. I feel like TY's got to get down that ramp and scout this, make a couple more bunkers perhaps.
I feel like even more turrets. Like 2 more turrets too.
Make a couple extra. He sees how many Oracles are out there. This one Cyclone is not going to be enough.
Okay, this is going to be like the big money scout.
There
he
you
sees
go.
Everything.
He needs to start building stuff right now.
He needs. Okay, there's a turret. Only 1 bunker here. SCV's already evacuated. He knows the attack is coming right now. Stasis wards.
Okay. He's taking the slow. That's what that means. Going to use some of that energy here. Snipes a Widow Mine to begin. Not bad.
Cyclone locks onto a Zealot here. Not going to get the kill. I like this turret placement. Myungshik is going to be hard-pressed to really end the game with this because of all the defense TY is committed to. Maybe he wants to back off. He's going to grab a turret. We got some SCVs trapped here with the Marines, but I mean, those are sentries. They don't do damage.
Nice focus there by the tank, actually, by TY. Does not hit the Zealots that would have done a lot of splash damage to all the Marines and the SCVs in the middle line. Instead, tries to focus down the sentries.
More attacks here in the main. Very quick repair by TY. Very important he does this. But this is free reign here now for these Oracles to kill any units that spawn, any reinforcements, and maybe even could go for stim if he had enough energy. I don't think he quite does. Let's see.
I feel like he should try. That one Oracle's got enough energy.
He's going for the factory. Meanwhile, he's going to actually go in and shade on top of these siege tanks.
And he does get on top of all the siege tanks and the Marines on the right side. Here come the Oracles, but one bunker still lives. He's going to try to focus down the tanks, but a really nice repair here from TY.
Yeah, this is actually going to be defended. I think he overcommitted here quite significantly. Mules dropping as well. He knows this is up, defended. And Myungshik gets shut down hard. Starts a robo at home. He knows he's going to have to transition into something more than this. Kind of a sloppy attack there. Overconfidence, I would say. Really thinking he could break that when he, in fact, could not. Committing so much Oracle energy to the factory as well, I think was just a misclick. I don't think that was intentional. And the Cyclone will confirm his letting down there.
Yeah, TY's got to be liking his position here. You can even tell from the supplies at this point. And Myungshik is going to have to do a bit more harass, perhaps, and get some more damage down before he can be comfortable in this game. You can see him adding all the techs, the robotics facility, Twilight Council, Forge, a 3rd base even.
Yeah, that's always the moment, you know, when you're doing an all-in, you think you've won the game, and you see someone add a Robo, a Twilight, or a Forge, or all 3 in this case, one after the other. You know that's the moment where the Protoss knows, okay, this is over.
It's like, I'm going to try to have a follow-up here, but I don't think it's going to work, but I have to continue the game just in case the Terran overreacts. And I mean, TY is making a bunker here with a couple, 3 supply depots to block.
Listen,
so he's like,
yeah.
I mean, it is Myungshik after all.
That's exactly what I say. I'm like, I'm no pro gamer, but if it was me in the booth, man, I'd have 6 bunkers. I'd research Neo Steel frames. I'd be like, oh, you're not. I know like all-in number 7.5 is coming up later once we reach like 15 minutes, so I'm gonna be safe. Big scan here. Checks the third Nexus.
Yeah, that scan is really huge. He needed that information,
now
especially
he's like,
against Myungshik.
Now he's pretty confident that, you know, with his economic lead, he could just crank out units, can salvage some bunkers, get medevacs out, and we're going to transition into a longer game from here, but still the edge on TY's side of the map, no doubt.
Well, looks like we got a drop coming out of the Protoss. Wants to perhaps harass the back of the natural here with just 4 Adepts.
He's going to face a ton of turrets as well as a bunker here, so I don't know how much damage he's going to get at the natural. I don't even think he should commit. Well, if he targets and picks up, maybe he could go into the main after this. Does get a few SCVs here. I think he just got 1 or 2. Picks up.
Well, it's not bad. You know, he stops some mining time. Nice control there. I think the Cyclone control wasn't the best. Maybe he lost line of sight, but was not able to kill the Warp Prism there.
Blink is nearly finished, and +1 for Myungshik as well, as he is cranking out upgrades. Looks like we're finally going to see this useless chunk of Stargate cleaned off the middle of the map, as the Watchtower is controlled for TY. Templar Archives coming up from Myungshik. He's not going to be going into Disruptor Tech to deal with his Bioforce. He wants to have Storms. He's going a bit old school on this. Can be very powerful. Can also be great at denying drops and feedback and things of that nature.
Yeah, he's also getting that charge on the way here. Looks like he does want to go into probably Charge-Lot Archon with some Storms, as you were mentioning. Let's see what he does commit to here. He's stuck on 3 bases, but so is TY. TY hasn't made that 4th command center just yet.
This drop will have to be traded for SCVs, as there was too much stimmed bio to keep the Warp Prism alive. He's going to have to run away. Even 2 Liberators on the chase here. And notice that TY checks the entire map. 4 more bases. He's like, what are you up to? What's going on?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a big army from you yet. You're not doing a follow-up all-in. That's weird. You're Myungshik. Where is it? And where's the base? There's nothing. So that lets him rest a little bit easier. That he kind of knows everything that's going on. He just needs to keep playing his own game.
I mean, even if it wasn't Myungshik, it's like that moment on the ladder where you get alled in twice in a row in the same game, and you're still in this game, and you're like, well, I mean, what is this guy going to do? I mean, if he all-ins me twice, he has the... I mean, he's got the attitude to possibly do it again or just hide something or try to be tricky, you know, so I just got to be prepared for anything.
Big stem over here. And with a few of those units, looks like he was considering committing. He's going to place that 4th CC now. And TY looking to trade to some of these units. Poking up at the front, another smaller stem. Moving up some liberation zones now. Oracle's coming out across to tag. And we'll identify this army.
They see everything. Look at this vision. They see every unit of the Terran. Even outside of the observers, he knows exactly where they're coming from. But is that going to help him here in the defense? Perhaps a bit. He wants to see where those Liberators are going to be sieging up here.
I'm curious, is that Storms in there? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Okay, here comes the first one. Second one goes down as well. Gonna lose 2 Templar. And no, that's not where you want to commit. That's too much sieged up Terran. This is horrible for Myungshik. He's not getting any damage done. He just GG's.
That's gonna be it. Too big of an army for TY, and the Storm's not effective enough. A really hard position there for Myungshik to attack into. So TY making it interesting.
The look on TY's face after that win was just like, man, who do you think I am?
Yeah, he's like, are you serious again?
He's like, I already know it's DTs in game 3. We can just skip it if you want to do that.
Yeah. I'm going to have a turret right in my front and the back.
He made an eBay at like 2 minutes and 8 seconds into that game.
Yeah,
Myungshik, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not going to work, buddy.
That was after he scouted it, too. He's like, okay, I'm not dying. I'm just not dying to this guy, okay? We got to make 100% sure that I have all the necessary defense.
That was a somewhat sloppy engage from Myungshik. I think he could have poked a little bit before he did that all-in at the front where he thought he was going to kill the tank, but didn't. I think he could have poked a little bit, killed some more SCVs, built up a larger army before, but he was so confident he was going to crush it that he just committed and lost because of it.
Yeah. I mean, he had a decent amount of control over the production for sure. and could have perhaps dragged it out there. We are going to Orbital Shipyard. This is what we wanted to see. I love this map for PvT.
It's huge. We see a lot of Liberaries, a lot of late game.
Myungshik, I mean, I'm loving the song, by the way. Perfect hype going into game number 3, guys. So the players are in the game. Let's jump into it right now between Myungshik and TY.
Up here in the top right. In game 3 he is.
SK Telecom T1.
It's like my weakest intro of all time. I'm like, in game 3.
He is. You guys can't see the fist behind the S. Code S is too strong. Down on the bottom left, the Terran player in the red.
KT Rolster TY.
TY.
Practicing with the likes of Zest and Stats, saying he wasn't having too much luck there, but so far, I mean, he's back into this series. I don't want to call it too early. He was the favorite coming in here, but Myungshik is a tricky guy, and when he feels like he can't play you in a straight-up game, he will do crazy stuff, just like this.
This is crazy. Just a little bit of SC damage. Not that crazy, actually. It's like totally normal. It's a pretty early scout, but you know.
Yeah.
But for TY here, obviously this is going to be annoying to deal with. He knows that he's going to get an economic edge as a result. And knows the scouting pattern even from that SCV. Checks a little bit to the left. He's like, nothing crazy here. This is not like a proxy gateway, right? Very fast. Proby's like, this doesn't work in Legacy. You can't proxy gateways. But is going to go across the map with that SCV scout. Probably going to hide that for a follow-up scout. He's also going Reaper. Versus Myungshik, you just want to get all the information. It's the name of the game.
Definitely like the Reaper expand on this map. Large cliffs to jump up in. There's a lot of room to proxy stuff, and you can get a quick command center for your backdoor base. That should be relatively safe. There is a probe out in a weird position here. This is not where you would actually check for a proxy.
No, it's like not that close in proximity. It's slightly closer, yes, but I think it's hidden very well here. 100 minerals. He clicked it. What's he going to do? I don't know if he's actually going to commit this time. I don't know if he will.
It will be a very late proxy. I mean, he used a lot of gas here on the mothership core.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually
Maybe it's because of this scout, you know?
Yeah.
So he does have to wait if he does want to proxy.
I'm watching you, Probe. What are you going to do? Probe's so terrifying. Just one probe could build an entire expansion. 12 gateways. All he needs is money. Isn't that how life is sometimes?
Yep, the 1%, that's Protoss. Hit the nail on the head there, Wolf.
Okay,
well,
look at this. A double scout with SCV and Reaper. The probe just goes for a scout here. At least that's initially what he's going to do. Oh, no, he wants to pile on him. Oh, eBay block here.
Yeah.
Sick.
TY is already like, okay, I know what this is. You're Myungshik. I know what this is, okay? You chrono boosted out that mothership core. I know you're going to do this again. You've done it in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is what the probe is for in reality, is just to pile on this base. The eBay block is interesting. I guess if you let that finish, you can make turrets with it. He built it in the wrong mineral line. There's the first cancel on that pylon, the one that's further in range of the bunker. The eBay is not finished. Nice halt there on the SCV. Here's the overcharge. It is in range of the pylon, that bunker, so this is going to end quickly. Not going to be able to get that scout off with the Adept.
The least effective rush so far, and look at that mining. Very, very messed up. You can always cancel that. 3/4 the cost.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of health, that eBay.
Like, looking at the worker count, it's 35 probes to 28 SCVs, and obviously there are mules there too, but if you look at the income, pretty significantly messed up. And the eBays have a lot of health. They're just an odd structure that end up used. They're basically used for upgrades, turrets, and sometimes blocking things.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes the Reaper. Just going to continue to scout. Sees a chrono on that Twilight Council. That's a little bit more information.
Wants to deny this third base. Probe does back off there. Ooh, he is going to snipe this Reaper. Nice positioning on the mothership core.
Man, this is taking forever to kill. So much extra mining lost. Absolutely worth it.
Yeah, and that's perfect to do, especially when a rush is coming, because the units are not going to be at home for the Protoss, so you can kind of just get away with it. And it definitely is worth it, as you were saying. So, very smart idea from TY.
It's a temporary investment of 125 minerals, and then he's going to get most of that back with a cancel. Boom, 94 back. Easy. Bunker coming up. That's where you can put those 100 minerals. Blink nearly done, but it's just going to be used defensively here. TY has all the information in the world. He's making a bunker at his backdoor expansion.
Yeah.
No adept drop's going to ruin his night.
I like that, actually. You don't see that too often. Usually you see maybe a turret and maybe a Widow Mine, and like maybe some Marines in the back door, but never really a bunker. Bunker is, wow, he's actually going for this here at the third base.